2022's 2022. An evening filled with a whole lot of entertainment and spectacle. So brace yourself for a high-octane dose of entertainment and wishing you all a pleasant evening.
Hello! A very good evening to everyone present here. We're so glad that you could join us this evening. I would want to welcome our live stream audience who are also joining us tonight, our official state beauty organizers who have come all the way from your respective states to be here with us, our beautiful judges who will be joining the jury with us, and of course, the audience who are here. I am Rafajana Husso, and I will be your host this evening. Before we start, allow me to give you a brief run-through about what Miss Northeast is about. Nagaland has had the honor of being able to host Miss Northeast twice actually. It was held in 1996 and in the year 2004. However, this is the first edition of Miss Northeast initiated by the Northeast Beauty Organization. And the organization was formed in April of this year, and in the same month they held their general meeting. They formed this organization with the hope of unifying and bringing together all the 8 Northeast states of India. They also hoped to give a platform, a legitimate platform, where the name Miss Northeast was true, as all states would come and participate in this pageant. And I think that with all the hard efforts of the office bearers, of the people involved, this has been a possibility. So let's give a huge round of applause to the office bearers and everyone involved for making this. All right then. We will be getting our first look at the 15 contestants with the first round, that will be the ethnic round. Our contestants will be wearing their respective traditional attires. Our judges are all getting ready and everybody is excited to begin this. So without any further ado, getting your first look in the ethnic future, in the ethnic round, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our 15 contestants on stage.
contestant number 1, 22 years of age, and I aspire to become a successful entrepreneur. And tonight, I am proudly representing my beautiful Nagaland. Thank you!
My name is Nika Chopi, contestant number 2, 22 years of age, and I aspire to be a social worker. Tonight, I am proudly representing my beautiful Nagaland. Thank you!
My name is Subeksha Pradhan, contestant number 3, 23 years of age, and I aspire to become a social activist. Tonight, I am representing my beautiful Sikkim. Thank you!
My name is Vashwati Roy, contestant number 4, 21 years of age, and I aspire to become a successful music therapist. And tonight, I'm proudly representing my beautiful Sikkim. Thank you!
My name is Naina Jomo. I'm contestant number 5, 22 years of age, and I aspire to become a successful physiotherapist. And I'm proudly representing my beautiful Arunachal Pradesh. Thank you! My name is Radha, contestant number 6, 23 years of age, and I aspire to become a successful entrepreneur. And tonight, I'm proudly representing my beautiful Arunachal Pradesh. Thank you!
My name is Smita Shen, contestant number 7, 20 years of age, and I aspire to become a successful optometrist. And tonight, I'm proudly representing my beautiful Tripura. Thank you! My name is Jessica Alfred Harluki, contestant number 8, 23 years of age, and I aspire to become a professor. And tonight, I'm proudly representing my beautiful Meghalaya. Thank you!
My name is Irene Dkhar, contestant number 9, 20 years of age. I aspire to become a psychologist, and tonight I am proudly representing my beautiful Meghalaya. Thank you! I'm Ishani Hatimuria, contestant number 10, 25 years of age, and I aspire to become a civil servant. And tonight, I'm proudly representing my beautiful Assam. Thank you!
My name is Nityashri Bodar, contestant number 11, 21 years of age, and I aspire to become a supermodel. And tonight, I proudly represent
once are always special. Yes, I truly agree and believe in that. This is my first visit to the Northeast. It's very special because the first visit coincided with a very special event called Miss Northeast 2022.
It's the designer round, designed by none other than Kimikoli Chishi. It's inspired by diamonds, in the inspiration of making our ladies stand out and be like diamonds in the rough. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming back on stage our 15 contestants for Miss Northeast 2022. Official state beauty pageant organizers under Northeast Beauty Pageant Organization. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the members of the Northeast Beauty Pageant Organization. Shined like diamonds in the sky, they have been grooming themselves for the many grooming days, 9 days that they were here with us, and I think they truly were the brightest star in the sky. We will now be moving on to the second designer round. designed by the very talented Nisa Raprio. It is inspired by water. It is graceful, it is elegant, and welcoming back on stage our top 15 contestants of Miss Northeast 2022 for the designer round by Nisa Raprio. Following this up with the evening gown round, my personal favorite, all the 15 ladies will be walking out in the color red, symbolizing femininity, strength, courage, determination, and the red also signifies the unity of the 8 Northeast states who came together tonight. They will be serenaded by the very talented Mengu Shokri and Obed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming back on stage our 15 contestants for the evening gown round. seen the grace, the beauty, and the elegance of our 15 contestants standing before you. Now it is time to judge if there is wit to their beauty as we begin our interview round. In this round, all of the 15 contestants will get the opportunity to answer a question each, and this will also be the final time they can impress the judges before we announce the top 8. Can we have the questions, please? Contestant number 1 has picked the question: in what role does a man add most to a woman? A father, son, or a partner? Why?
Thank you for the question. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, once again. According to me, every role plays a very important part in our woman's life. However, to me, my father played the most important role in my life. Why? Because he has been the source of support system to me. He has always been there for me, encouraging me, and he has always been the one that was always there, believing in me that I can do this, and for which I am here tonight. And though my dad is not here anymore with me, I believe that he's looking down on me from heaven, and I miss him the most right now. I love you, Dad. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant number 1. If you win tonight, how will you use your title to help others? Would you want me to repeat the question? Very well.
A very good evening once again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, judges. If the prestigious crown happened to sit on my head tonight, then I would start by being the inspiration of the youth, and also I will spread awareness on child labor and child abuse, because I believe children are the most important resource of our society, and they are meant to learn and not earn. Me coming from India, the most populated country in the world, the lack of child support, especially in our places like India, have made me realize that we should all come together to create a space where our children can feel safe and where they will be provided the basic right to education. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant number 2. What do you like most about pageantry?
Thank you for your question. Good evening, everyone. Well, I believe that pageantry provides us with beautiful opportunities. It provides us with opportunities from where we can be the voice of the voiceless, where we can empower, uplift and educate the most deprived, the vulnerable and the depressed section of our society. People believe that a pageantry is just about glitz and glam, but I say pageantry is not only about that. Pageantry is about helping people in order to help themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant number 3. Do you think plastic surgery is a good option for people who do not have natural good looks?
Thank you so much for your question, ma'am. Once again, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I believe there is nothing wrong with plastic surgery just because we all know and we should accept us the way we are. But still, if we are having a chance to make a beautiful change in ourselves, then plastic surgery is never a bad option. Thank you so much.
If you could say one thing to all the young women in our city, what would you tell them?
Thank you for your question, ma'am. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If I had privilege to say one thing to all the women in the city, I would definitely tell them that we are living in a modern and fast world, but we are drifting apart from our culture. So I would remind them that our culture is our identity and we should cherish this for a lifetime. Thank you.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of today's youth using technology?
Thank you for the question, ma'am. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that the technology has, of course, made our life easier. We literally have the world at our fingertips, but at the same time, it makes it easier to get lazier, and over heavily dependent on the technology that was created to be a tool. So I would say that let this tool be just a tool. Let us use it. Let us not let it rule us. Thank you so much.
What is your biggest fear and why?
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My biggest fear is if I lose myself once again, my self-confidence. I don't want to lose it. And everyone don't want to lose their self-confidence. Thank you for the question.
Do you think that the youth today face more pressure than the previous generation?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your question. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I do think the youth of today are facing a lot of pressure, and the biggest pressure they are facing is the making of their life choices. They are pressured heavily by peer pressure and the pressure of their parents. So I suggest that we must all take a step further and let our youth be passion-driven and never be inclined with a regular 9-to-5 job. They have to be the leaders of their dreams and of their lives. Thank you.
What does it mean to be a modern woman?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the question. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that being a modern woman is not someone who's just modern in her looks and in her beauty, but someone who remembers God and someone who inspires others women and someone who finally is financially independent. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you for that. Do you prefer a love marriage or an arranged marriage, and why?
Thank you so much for the question, ma'am. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to marriage, I think there are 3 most important qualities that I look for: love, trust, and teamwork. And without them, I don't think the marriage is complete. So it doesn't matter to me whether the marriage is love marriage or arranged marriage. Thank you so much.
What an insightful answer. What qualities should a woman possess to make a notable difference in the world?
Thank you so much for the question, ma'am. Once again, a very warm good evening, one and all assembled here. To make a notable difference in the world, women should be financially independent and should be strong enough to make a voice and stood for herself to live in this world. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. Who is the most inspiring person in your life and why?
Thank you so much for your question, ma'am. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The most inspiring person in my life is, yes, of course, my mother, because she carries me in her womb for 9 months, and her love and her trust for me, I don't think that I could never get that from another person. And if I were to be born, I would love to born as her child again, as her daughter. Thank you so much.
What a beautiful answer. Is career more important to you than family?
Thank you for your question, ma'am. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For me, my career is more important than my family. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant 13. How would you define your state? Give 3 facts that make your state popular.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the question. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My state is known as the Jewel of India. It is the second paradise in earth. And if I have to describe 3 things about my state, then we should always remember that it is the mirror of Northeast, since it has the Loktak Lake, the only freshwater lake in the northeastern part. And we have the various rare and fauna and flora in our state. The Sangay, the Sirui plays a great important role in the world. And lastly, we have the Ima market, the only market in the world which is solely run by the woman. Thank you so much.
How would you define success?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your question. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To me, success is not building about skyscrapers in our surroundings, but it's about building good thoughts and intention with ourselves and helping others to do the same is the success to me. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant. We've now heard all our top 15 contestants. They have spoken their minds, and it is now up to our judges to decide who moves on to top 8. Until then, I will see you next when I have the results of the top 8 in my hand. Present to you the top 15 contestants of Miss Northeast 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, before we declare our top 8, we must declare our subtitles. There will be a gift hamper worth up to 10,000 courtesy of Dr. Sagar gifted to all the contestants tonight. Miss Beautiful Skin subtitle goes to contestant number 40. Congratulations once again, Miss Manasha, for winning the subtitle of Miss Beautiful Skin. Miss Multimedia goes to contestant number 5. Once again, congratulations to Miss Diana Jomo for winning the subtitle of Miss Multimedia. Our third subtitle for the night, Miss Talent, goes to contestant number 10, Miss Ishani. Is Miss Photogenic, and it goes to contestant number 10, Miss Ishani. Miss Perfect 10, and it goes to contestant number 9, Miss Irene Dkhar. Congratulations to Miss Irene Dkhar. It was decided by the contestants themselves on who deserved the title of Queen of Hearts, and the subtitle of Queen of Hearts goes to contestant number 2, Lika Chopi. Can I please request Mrs. Veninen to crown our winner? But first we start with contestant number 9, Miss Irene. The second contestant joining Miss Irene is contestant number 10, Miss Ishani. The third contestant joining the top 8 is contestant number 3, Miss Subeksha. Contestant number 1, Miss Kohima is contestant number 6, Miss Rade. The sixth contestant that takes her spot in the top 8 is contestant number 14, Miss Manasha. The seventh contestant moving on to top 8 is contestant number 5, Miss Diana Jomo. The last and final candidate that closes the top 8 positions is contestant. She's a contestant for Mizoram. Contestant number 12, Miss H. Lalhaipur. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you your top 8 for Miss Northeast 2022. All our top 8 contestants will now have the time to have an interview round with our 5 judges. Can we start with contestant number 6? Please pick your judge name.
What is the role of youth towards the future development of the country?
Thank you so much for the question, ma'am. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The youth are the future. They are the future of the nation themselves. So I believe that the youth should inspire each other, lift each other up, and raise voice for the causes that matters. Thank you so much.
My question for you is this. What would you say is the biggest problem facing our educational system today, and why?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the question. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In my opinion, the biggest issue that are facing by our educational system is that instead of leading the students and everyone showing the creativeness, they are forcing them to learn by heart. They are using the learning of rote learning, that is mugging off by heart. And I strongly believe that if we keep on moving like this, then we won't be able to show our creativeness and to show the world who we are. So I really want to change this system, and instead of just learning by heart, let us try to make us focus more on how to express ourselves and how to make a student to show his creativeness. Thank you so much.
Thank you, contestant number 14, Ms. Smith.
It has been shown that men who admit to having children in a job interview are looked on more favorably. Yet when women do the same, they are looked on less favorably. Why do you think this is?
Thank you for your question, ma'am. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I believe this is happening due to the narrative we are living in, that raising a child and bearing a child is a woman's job. But when men does it, it is seen that an extraordinary thing, rather than a father carrying his responsibility about families. Thank you.
So this is your question. According to you, what are the steps or measures needed to eradicate poverty?
Thank you for your question, sir. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. I think to eradicate poverty, we should accelerate economic growth in our country, and that can be done by accumulating compound things and increasing labor efficiency, and by technological advancement that can only be done. And economic growth can also be the steps taken by the government, and we ourselves can do that by doing our jobs greatly. As a student too, we should study well, and as a teacher, we should teach well. Thank you.
How different would the world be if women ruled the world?
Thank you, sir, for the question. Good evening, Notice. If women were to rule the world, I believe that the world, if the word rule, if it means influence, I believe that we women are naturally God-gifted to influence our home, our family, and a society as a whole. So I believe that if the word influence means kind, loved, and compassion, I believe that the world will be at peace, and it will be a better place for all of us to live in. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant number 1.
What is your greatest strength, and how did it help you to become one of the finalists tonight?
Thank you for your question, ma'am. Good evening, everybody, once again. Well, I believe that my greatest strength is my confidence, because I believe that confidence is the key to success. I am beautifully confident, and that's what led me the top 8 finalists for Miss Northeast 2022. Thank you.
Thank you. Contestant number 3.
Has personal interaction taken a back seat because of social networking sites?
Thank you so much for the question. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think personal interaction has definitely taken a back seat because of social networking. There used to be a time when we all used to sit together and eat food, share our meals, share our thoughts. But now, while eating, we are rather busy on our phones. While technology is making our lives easier, it is also making us lazier. Thank you.
There is a group of people who do not support the concept of beauty contests. What will you tell them?
Thank you so much, sir, for the question. I believe that it's all right for people to not support everything, to have their own perspective and misconception about things. But what I would like to tell them is to try to think positively, look at things positively, and try to support our youth for the betterment of themselves and for the betterment of our country. Thank you so much, sir.
in the top 4 is contestant number 9, Miss Irene Dkhar from Meghalaya. Contestant number 10, Miss Ishani from Assam. The third contestant moving on to top 4 is, also coincidentally, contestant number 3, Miss Subeksha Pradhan from Sikkim. The last contestant that joins the top 4 is contestant number 5, Miss Raina Jumo from Arunachal Pradesh. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the common answer question round for our top 4. One common answer will be asked to each of our ladies. However, while the question is being asked, the other 3 ladies will have their hearing muffled. Our 3 ladies have their hearing muffled. They cannot hear anything right now. So Miss Irene, here is your question. If you had a chance to discuss a social issue with world leaders, what social issue would it be and why?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the question. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If I had a chance to discuss a social issue with the world leaders, I think I would go for the mental peace of the youth. It is high time that we cater to the mental illness to fight against anxiety and depression. And I want to be that social figure for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The one social issue that I would discuss with the world leaders would be women's safety. I think women are not safe within their own barriers of their home. And self-defense and legal rights are the very founding stones for a safety of a woman, and these are very important for any society. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant. Beautiful answer.
Well, I was born and brought up in country India, where I believe that one of a major social issue is poverty. It makes me feel sad that seeing children who are deprived, exploited and vulnerable not getting an education. And I feel that education is one of a major issue that, education is one of a major thing that we need to provide to the children in order to make our society better. So therefore, the one social issue that I would like to talk about to the political leaders of our country is about poverty. If we as individuals can come together and talk about these social issues, then I believe that this country would be a better world for everybody to live in. Thank you.
If I had privilege to speak in front of all the world leaders, I would definitely address the inconsistency in healthcare in our Northeast, because my heart aches to see when someone is severely ill or diagnosed with some complicated disease, she or he is referred to outside of the Northeast. I'm very fortunate that my parents can afford it, but what about the poor people, the underprivileged one? I think we should start talking about it. Thank you.
What a powerful answer. Heard the top 4 and your answers. Now it is up to the judges to decide who wins Miss Northeast 2022. Judges, you may now commune to decide who will be the winners for today's pageant. While our judges are making the difficult decision on who wins, let us now have a beautiful performance by Vikre and Kekre Tepa. Contestants have been at work for the last 9 days. They've had grooming classes, they have etiquette lessons, they have ramp walk lessons. They went for a cultural exchange at Fitzroy where they were welcomed by 500 students and they had a wonderful day. And of course their fair share of rehearsals as well. Ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, welcome on stage our top 15 candidates of Miss Northeast 2022. The official choreographer of tonight's Miss Northeast 2022, Mr. Teja Sekose on stage. Welcoming on stage our official designer for Miss Northeast 2022, Miss Kivitoli Chishi. Miss Kivitoli Chishi was the first designer for the first round where she designed her dresses inspired by diamonds. Our second designer for the night is Miss Nisa Rubrio. Miss Nisa Rubrio designed for the second designer round, inspired by water. Benny Lecant and her team, they are the makeup team who have worked hard to make all our ladies so beautiful tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our show director, Mr. Melek Kucho. The second runner-up position of Miss Northeast 2022 goes to contestant number 5, Miss Dinah Jomo from Arunachal Pradesh. Once again, congratulations to Miss Dinah Jomo for winning the second runners-up of Miss Northeast 2022. First runners-up goes to contestant number 10, Miss Ishani Hatimoria from Assam. Can I please request Mrs. Kapaleno to sash our winner? Miss Northeast 2022 is contestant number 9, Miss Irene Dkhar from Meghalaya. Can I please request Dr. Saga to sash our winners? Can I request Miss Lodi Awobi to crown our winner? Miss Northeast 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you your